What's up, YouTube? It's Mr. Ferguson back once again here in Central North Carolina. Thank you so much for tuning in this late fall. It takes us forever here in North Carolina really to get into winter, and sometimes we never get there. But I'm getting blasted by the sun, but I hope the picture is worth it because I can't see crap on my camera here. But thank you so much for tuning in again. For anybody that's new, I don't typically address new people, but we are finally getting into form and getting into shape. It has been a rough couple of months from summer into early fall. It's been rough around here, and some of the videos have shown that, but thank you. We're finally getting around to looking like a lawn that I'm proud to actually put online. It's not been that way for very long. We've had many struggles, but that is what I enjoy showing on YouTube. I am not a channel that tries to come on here and just show you how great my lawn looks and puff my chest up and say, look how great I am, I'm better than you, and you know, good luck to you suckers. Like, that is not what I try to do. I'm a man that loves the Lord Jesus Christ, number one. I'm proud to say it. I'm going to continue to say it. I don't care who comes on my channel and says stop all the blabbing about God. You can kick rocks. You can go watch anybody else on YouTube you choose to go watch. I'm going to magnify and glorify the name of Jesus Christ. He's my Lord. He's my Savior. He's the name above all names. There is no other God before him. And when AI is at its peak of smartness, God is above AI. So I don't know why I wanted to say that. I just wanted to say that this morning. I just feel like, you know, man, I'm fired up this morning in the prayer room, and Jesus is King, and I'm proud to serve him. And nobody's going to shut me up from serving my God and my King. I don't care what you bring at me. Man does not determine who I serve. So anyways, just want to throw that out there. That's what we do things different here on this lawn care channel. We talk about the Lord and we talk about grass, and not the bad kind of grass that you smoke. Like I've had those days in high school. I don't want to go back to them days. It wasn't my cup of tea. Give you some things to comment down below if you want to talk about it. But anyways, we've been struggling here, and we're finally getting into form. And so I give God praise, because we have really been, and still currently at the making of this video, we are lacking so much in rain. We need rain again. I'm out here just the past 2 days on Sunday morning before church. I was doing the back. As you guys know, we put down some more of the Mountain View seed along the back edge where it's been thin. And I don't know how well you can tell. I'm not going to take the camera out today because, I mean, it looks the same as last time we showed you. But you can see it's filling in nicely. It's coming in. It's slow. I'm not watering so much right here in front of the camera, but more so back here where it's been thin, so it can hopefully grow and catch up. And I don't know how much you guys can tell. I live here, obviously, but on the bank, it is much improved. It's continuing to improve. Every time I water it, the seed is coming up. I put tons of seed. Now we put Mountain View seed, so it should only improve there. So my lawn, the struggle spots are slowly coming around to look a lot better, and that's what I've been showing and dealing with here. So let me get back in the frame. I didn't turn all the way around here, so let me move the camera. But that's kind of where what we've been doing here in Central North Carolina. And I just wanted to point out a couple things I've seen in the comments and some of the questions, things. I like to address some of the things that people are bringing to my attention to reemphasize things of my opinion of things, of what I've seen in my very brief time, 5-6 years in lawn care, as just a DIY guy, not a professional at all. So always, anything you get on this channel, it's free content. So always take it to a better source than myself. But as far as repair seeding, you know, we've done a lot of repair seeding the past couple months, as we just talked about. And I had people saying, hey, Mr. Ferguson, with your repair seeding, are you going to put tenacity down to stop the weeds from coming up with it? No, I only really use tenacity when I do my seed. My overseed or my fall seeding after summer. That is pretty much the only time I ever use tenacity. I'm not a big tenacity user. That's about the only time I use it. When I'm planting the first bulk majority of grass in my lawn, I like to do tenacity all over the lawn. So when it comes up, the pre-emergent factors of the tenacity helps prevent the weeds. And in about 30 days, those weeds start coming up. And we showed that here on the past videos where we had little clovers popping up here and there. And recently we did a speed zone mix and went and killed them, and they started withering away and we can barely find them. But no, when I'm doing repair seeding, I'm not so much coming back and doing any type of weed killer to prevent the weeds coming up with that. I don't do that. I'm trying to get growth happening there. Again, in these areas, like up on this little hill over here I just showed you, I'm not seeing any weeds come up. I'm just seeing the grass seed come up. I don't necessarily see, because we're not really going deep to turn over tons of dirt. Some of you may be doing that, and if that's the case, yes, you can get weed seeds to be turned over. We're really just taking the garden weasel, and this ground particularly is so hard that the garden weasel, it really takes some effort to really get the dirt loose. And so that's covering the seed just enough, and you're trying to help those roots be able to get down in the dirt. And so weeds is not really an issue. It's trying to get the roots deep and maintain it. But no, to answer that question, I'm not doing any type of tenacity. And just to kind of talk about pre-emergent in general, I spoke about this briefly throughout the videos I've done here recently, which is, Mr. Ferguson, are you going to do pre-emergent after you do your seeding? Well, as you guys have seen, since September, we started our first overseeding big day on September 5th. And reviewing that in my mind, like, what did I do wrong? Well, number one, we was in like a false fall, and Pete went ahead. So one of the things I was thinking about, Pete went ahead and said, I'm throwing down, guys. It's cool. The next 10, 14 days look like it's going to be in the 70s. It's throwdown time. And I'm like, I'm with Pete. Like, I think this is going to be okay, because it's been an odd year. It's been an odd season. We had so a lot of rain when we didn't normally get rain, and then it kind of shut off. We had cooler temps when it's typically hot. And so I'm thinking, okay, maybe we're going to get an early fall this year. So when Pete said he's going in North Carolina, I went. And it turns out it was drier than expected, and the temps did come back up to the 80s. It wasn't terrible. We never got back into the 90s really. So it wasn't crazy, but it was higher temps that really wasn't suitable for the baby grass. And we did have some of that, I think, get torched and go away. So did I see too early? I would say yes. If I had it to do again, Mr. Blake was right. Really this year, it was almost like doing it in mid-October was kind of the time this year. It just seemed like we just kept dragging on with high temperatures. But in addition to that, the really other bad part about that was the lack of water. If we were getting lots of water, then baby grass, I think, could have sustained through those 80s if it's hydrated properly. But it's the combination of lack of water and high temps that really, I think, hurt. So going back, well, what does this have to do with pre-emergent, you idiot? Well, I'm trying to get there. Due to that, we had to keep throwing seed down. And when you have to keep putting seed back in because your original seed is fading out, and it's like, okay, like this is not, it's like it's like the year when we did it on purpose. Like the following year, last year, 2024, we did seeding early. We were trying to do our overseed in our lawn quick and keep it hydrated in the lawn so that we could work on the project lawn. That was the goal, and we did it on purpose. We did it like the end of August or mid-August. Stupid idea. But I showed you guys, it still ended up with a decent lawn, but it did not work. We had to reseed, and it was like, okay, that was terrible. So this year we waited. I felt like it was time to go, but it was still a little bit too early. And now we're really in prime season, and we're almost at Thanksgiving. So it's crazy. But the point is, we've had to keep putting down seed. And when you have to keep kind of correcting, because you don't know the water situation, the weather situation, and when it's now prime and now everything's really growing in and mature, then you have to keep putting and applying seed to fill in the bare areas. It's tough to put down a pre-emergent because you're still seeding. And that's where I kept saying in my videos, guys, don't worry about pre-emergent. If you're seeding, I wouldn't worry about pre-emergent. Don't worry. And I never do. I'm either going to seed or I'm either going to pre-emergent. I've done pre-emergent in the fall twice in the past and not done any overseeding, and the lawn actually turned out fine in the spring. It looked great. But I enjoy the overseeding when it's necessary, and I definitely felt like this year it was absolutely necessary. And I feel like after the struggles we've had, I'm probably going to go ahead and overseed again next year because it's not as thick as it once was. I need to go thicker, and on that point, I feel like I could have added more seed in the first time, but with the higher temps, with the lack of rain, that might have just been a waste of money. So who knows? So point being, with pre-emergent, I'm not doing any pre-emergent in my lawn until we get into probably February, where I do the split apps of prodiamine. And this year, I am doing prodiamine pre-emergent. Last year, we did no pre-emergent on purpose to see if a thick lawn would prevent a lot of weeds. And I saw more weeds in my lawn than I had ever seen when doing pre-emergent. And so this year, I am not skipping pre-emergent as a test anymore. I didn't like that. I didn't like the weeds that I saw. I'm ready to get back to pre-emergent. It made a difference to me in my lawn. If you don't have the absolute thickest lawn out there, pre-emergent is important because all the gaps and all the areas that you have that don't look the best, weeds are going to fill in that area if you don't pre-emergent in the early spring. So we'll talk about that once we get closer to that. But as far as fall pre-emergent, that is not a concern of mine. I am currently in November, we're not dealing with any Poa annua as far as seeing that, but we have seen patches of Poa trivialis. And I've talked about Velocity PM. Velocity PM is actually used when temps are warmer, so we can't really use that in the fall. You're actually going to use that more in the spring when the Poa trivialis is getting ready soon to actually go away already. That's when the target time for Velocity PM is. So we'll talk about that more next year, but I do have some of the Velocity PM. We will likely try to, use that, but over the course of November, all the way until the target time of the use of Velocity PM, that triv is going to get mowed when you're mowing, and it's going to spread. So expect that. I'm going to try to hold off of using the green shoots glyphosate so that we can test the Velocity PM. And again, will it kind of melt it and go away? Will it leave a bare spot in your lawn? Do you need to seed it? Like, I don't know. And so I've had people recently ask me, Mr. Ferguson, do you recommend Velocity PM? What do you think of it? I really can't answer those questions because we've not fully used it here, trying it out really in an honest way to be able to make a recommendation or not. If you're the price point itself being hundreds of dollars, I would say no. You're better off circling it with some grass paint and doing glyphosate, Roundup, whatever, kill it off, reseed it. This is the time to do that if you find it, and do a larger section than you think, because most of the time you're going to miss some of it. So I just wanted to do a video talking about pre-emergent, talking about maybe the failures that we've kind of had over the past. And I like to show on my channel the failures. I like to talk about the struggles. Like next year, it's so hard because I say this every year. Right now, it's like the feeling that's in the air, the leaves changing, the leaves falling, the coolness of the wind, the breeze going on right now, the coolness of the temps. My fescue responds to that, and it's beautiful. This GCI turf loves it, and I know that. But when you're coming right out of summer and you first start getting those cool 60-degree winds or 72, and it's like, oh, it's not 90, so 70 feels like crazy. You're like, oh, it's time to go. It's a too quick rush to overseed or to start planting then. And I have to learn that's not optimal time, because if temperatures flux back up, higher temps, lack of water, it's just going to waste that seed. And I don't want to waste seed. I don't want you all to waste your seed. And really, location has a lot to do with what I'm saying here, but patience is so key. And Mr. Blake showed a lot of patience this year, because he was asking me the end of October, and I'm like, I'm wanting to do it for YouTube. I'm wanting to get the videos out ahead, because people up north are obviously in Kentucky and Ohio. You guys are going way faster, or you should be going way ahead of me, because as you cool down, that coolness is dropping down to the south, where you're going to be going and overseeding first. So I'm trying to get the videos out as soon as I can to help people and show you what I'm doing. Yet I think for the past 2-3 years, I've went a little too early. And so doing that, it's just cost me time. And I always want to try to get it looking like it does right now at Halloween. And really, it never happens at Halloween. It's always around Thanksgiving. It really starts to get into its prime. And it has a lot to do with ground temps, air temps, and just the cooling down of the season. Getting lower in temperature is better for the fescue than the higher temps. It responds different. These cultivars act different, and it just takes a lot of patience. So this is kind of a jumbled up talking video, but it's a lot to consider. So I really appreciate your comments down below of what your thoughts are on this situation. What are your thoughts on pre-emergent? What are your thoughts on repair seeding and adding tenacity? Do you guys do that? What's your thoughts on, how your overseeding project went this year? What were the pros of it? What were the cons? I think the pros of it was we spread the seed fine. I felt like the sprays that we did were fine. All of the applications we didn't really screw up. We didn't have any problems with our equipment. The Earthway spreader did great. The Flow Zone backpack sprayer has been phenomenal. All of our equipment did fine. Didn't have to purchase a lot of products. All we did was seeding. What did we do? We did the dark matter this year for the first time. We tried that out. I like to try different fertilizers for a YouTube channel, but obviously the Stay Green is just the winner because it's cheap, it's affordable. The Pearl Sizer is larger, but you can overcome that. But that's my winner. But so there were some positives. The negative was the timing. We had to keep working this overseed, even though we did a great aeration and did it in September when I typically do it. Just because you do it in September every year doesn't mean it's always the right time to do it. And so I'll be the first to admit that. So I need to adjust my strategy. I need to wait on the longer end rather than the jump to it quicker in next year for content. And so I just wanted to share those thoughts with you today. So longer video, a little chatterly, talk. I'd be curious on what your overseeding thoughts on your lawn. What's your overseeding thoughts in my lawn? Right now, we are just popping. We're looking great as we showed in the last video. It is looking phenomenal. The leaves obviously cover a lot of it. And when we mow, it just looks outstanding. But thank you so much for tuning in for this Wednesday. A little lawn talk, little lawn subject about pre-emergent things of that nature. Hope you'll comment below. Thank you to all the new subscribers, the new members. Thank you guys so much. We'll try to get into another live stream soon. Maybe we'll do another mowing video when we're doing some patterns in the lawn. I'm not sure. Give me your ideas and thoughts below. God bless you guys. See you next time.